Realize that the reason that you forgive people is for yourself. Here are my tips on how to manage anger from someone who, as a kid, had anger issues but has chilled out quite significantly. If you're specifically angry at someone else, have empathy for the other person. Freshman year, I was taking this one film class and my teacher was driving me fucking nuts. I barely ever understood what the fuck she was saying. I thought the assignments were stupid and pointless, and basically just something about her rubbed me the wrong way. And clearly she didn't fuck with me that much either. One day I'm in class and she's saying something, I don't remember what, but for whatever reason, what she said made me start bubbling with intense, pure hatred. Until out of nowhere, the image of her crying, like crying her eyes out, just appeared into my head. And I don't know where that image came from, but as soon as that happened, I felt like crying, bro. I obviously didn't. I was with other people. But I think that was the moment when I realized that as much as she pissed me off, as much as I found her annoying and the assignment stupid, she was just a person like me, going through her own bullshit, her own struggles, and trying to make the best out of it. And even if the way it was manifesting was annoying to me, she's just another human being. From then on, I started to have a lot more sympathy and empathy towards her, and eventually I stopped disliking her altogether. So this is a strategy I use all the time now. Whenever someone's really pissing me the fuck off, I just imagine them crying, like bawling their eyes out. And if you're like me, you'll probably start to feel pretty bad because you realize that they're just another human being trying their best. They just want love and happiness, same as you. You know, we all go about chasing that in the wrong way sometimes. It's like Spider-Man 3. I've done terrible things too. How can I condemn my fellow man if he's just as flawed as I am? Basically, just be empathetic and sympathetic. It's hard out here. We're all trying. If you're mad at someone, a situation, yourself, find out what you're really angry about. A few months ago, I was running late to this presentation I had for my Spanish class that day. And on the way there, I decided to stop by and grab some medication. So I'm waiting in line and the lady at the cash register is taking her sweet ass time. And I'm pissed. I'm gonna get a bad grade, I'm gonna be late, classmates are gonna make fun of me. I'm just going fucking livid in my mind. Literally the sweetest, nicest, most harmless older lady, and I'm cursing her out in my brain, saying the most terrible things I can think of. I'm doing this until I realize that it's not her that I'm mad at. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at myself for always being late to shit. I'm mad at myself that my lack of preparation, organization, time management is gonna make me late to something again. And I'm potentially gonna get a worse grade. I'm potentially gonna feel embarrassed and all that other stuff. I wasn't mad at this old lady who had nothing to do with the shit that was actually making me feel upset. I just needed someone to point the finger at, to blame, so that I feel better about myself. But by chasing that idea of feeling better about myself, I was never going to realize what the actual issue is, what the real problem was. Hell, my ass was late before I went to pick up the medication. So it was even less her fault. And even if I wasn't, I didn't have to stop by to grab my medication. That was just something I wanted to do for the sake of convenience. It's when I realized those things, that my anger was misplaced, that I was mad about something else entirely, that the anger I felt towards her completely disappeared. If you find yourself getting really angry at some dumb shit, like the train being late or the toaster not working, ask yourself this question: what am I really mad about? Am I mad about the train, or am I mad about the fact that I'm late? I apply this same principle to people too. If someone is bugging the fuck out, getting super angry at me even though I know I've done nothing wrong, then I basically just say to myself, okay, this person definitely has some shit going on in their life, because it's not me that they're mad about. They just need someone to, or something, to point the finger at, because sometimes we don't have the best control of our emotions. We don't have the best understanding about why we feel the way we do, and that leads us to express ourselves in harmful ways. Again, once you see it like that, you basically just start having more sympathy and empathy towards other people and their shitty situations, and you realize that most people just have poor emotional control. They're not bad people deep down. Now, if you're specifically angry at yourself about something maybe you did in the past or a mistake you made, then you should watch my last video about regrets, and it'll show you why having that anger towards yourself is ultimately pointless and unproductive, and how there are better mindsets and frameworks you can use to overcome that state of negative thinking. Now, what if instead of just minor anger or annoyance, this is a true, genuine, seething hatred you have towards someone? Someone that's wronged you in the past. Maybe that's a parent that neglected you, an ex that cheated on you, a friend that betrayed you, anything. How do you forgive someone like that? Someone who grabbed your heart and broke it into a million pieces. Well, the first question is, why should you forgive someone like that? And the answer is, you forgive them for you. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die from it. Nelson Mandela, supposedly. The literal only person who suffers from your prolonged anger is you. I remember in 7th grade, there was this kid in my class. He would always fuck with me. He would just mess with me. Looking back, I think that's the most I've ever hated anybody, ever. Like, when I say this dude was annoying, I mean he was fucking annoying. We had all the same classes, so he never left me alone, and was just constantly picking on me, trying to get a reaction out of me, and I genuinely fucking hated this dude. I don't think there's been a single person in my life that I've had more anger towards, who I just hated so fucking much. He was so fucking annoying, you guys don't even understand. And I would be thinking about how much I hated him throughout the entire day. At school, during lunch, when I got home. I just thought about this fucking dude and how much I wanted to beat his ass. But eventually, I realized that as much as I angrily would insult him or tell him off or get angry at him, he would just keep doing the same exact shit. He was still the same dude, laughing and smiling every day. Honestly, me getting all angry and pissed off and worked up probably fueled him even more and made him want to mess with me even more, because he thought it was fucking hilarious. When I realized that my actions weren't having any effect, that there was no point in getting super angry and pissed off because he was just going to do the same shit, and I wasn't going to beat his ass because I didn't want to get in trouble, I eventually let go of all my anger and hatred towards him. Basically stopped giving him reactions. After that point, he basically just left me alone. Or at least the things he did do afterwards were so minor that I can't even remember them. Plus, once I let my anger go, I realized that he was actually pretty fucking hilarious. I was so caught up in getting mad about being teased that I didn't realize, like, it's actually a funny ass dude. And, you know, we've been cool ever since. Now you might say, well, that's kind of a small case. Like, you guys were just in 7th grade. It wasn't that big a deal. It wasn't anything serious. And yeah, that's probably true that it wasn't that big a deal because we were just kids. But like I said, that's probably the most genuine hatred I've ever felt for anybody in my entire life. Even though there have been things that have happened to me that are several magnitudes worse than that. I've been ditched by friends, had people talk shit about me behind my back, insulted, humiliated. I've had all those things happen to me by various different people, and even after all that, there's no one in my life that I know that I feel any type of hatred towards. You know a show that demonstrates this really well? The Flash CW show. Spoilers for Flash CW, not that it's really worth watching past season 3, but yeah. To boil it down to the most relevant details, basically Reverse Flash, aka Eobard Thawne, kills Barry Allen, aka the Flash's mom, when the Flash is a kid. And it basically messes up his whole life. He's obsessed about it for 20 plus years. It basically acts as this looming dark cloud over his entire life. A whole bunch of shit happens that I can't be bothered to explain, but essentially Barry defeats Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is erased from existence. Yay, happily ever after. Except in season 2, Barry meets a guy who looks just like the reverse Flash that he knew. And he can't help but harbor some lingering hatred towards him. And it starts messing him up. The dark cloud looming over his life returns. He's back to just being upset until he says enough. I'll just play the clip here.
I know that you're not him. But he's not here, and I have to say this for me. In that video message, you said that I would never really be happy. And I've been trying really hard. After what Joe said, helping Patty, I realized that you are still in my heart. How much I hate you for what you've done. I don't want to hate you anymore. I can't. I can't hate you anymore. I forgive you.
I forgive you. The dude literally killed his fucking mother, and he forgives him. Why? It's not because he suddenly thinks, oh, Thon is a good guy, let's be bros, or that, he's suddenly reformed. He literally says it. I need to do this for me. He was so consumed in his hatred and sadness that he was genuinely becoming an unhappy person. Even Thon pointed it out that Bear would never truly be happy if he kept living life the way he was. Forgiving someone isn't about letting them get off scot-free. Barry still made sure that Thon faced justice. He had just also realized that he wasn't going to let this hate, this sadness, take over his life and stop him from appreciating what he has now or make the most out of his future. This whole storyline, especially this episode, this scene, was the game changer for me. It's when I realized that I forgive people for myself, for my sake, for my own sanity and mental health. Something that I do so I don't let someone I don't even like have control over my life. How fucking stupid is that? Letting someone you don't even like or care about control your actions and the things you do. So I don't give them that opportunity by forgiving them. Going off my last point, just because you decide not to hate someone or harbor ill will towards them doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life. If your ex cheated on you, if your friend did you really fucking dirty, stay away from them. Unless someone has genuinely apologized to you, taken responsibility for their actions, made no excuses, and changed their behavior, they're not worth keeping in your life. Just because you've lost an enemy doesn't mean you have to gain a friend. Disclaimer, obviously don't fucking cut someone off just because you posted an Instagram story before responding to your text. Obviously. This is for someone that you feel like has truly, deeply wronged you in a way that's fucked you up for like a long period of time. I forgive you, but I don't have to keep being your friend, your partner, any of that shit. All you have to say is, I wish you the best, I harbor you no ill will, and I'm not going to try to get revenge or any stupid shit like that, but I just don't want you in my life anymore. Goodbye. And mean those words when you say them, and then you move on with your life. You also don't directly have to say, I forgive you to the other person, because sometimes you need to cut contact ASAP. As I said, it's about internally knowing you have no hatred towards this person, but you're still not going to associate with them or keep them in your life. So next time you find yourself getting angry at someone, or truly starting to hate somebody, or struggling to forgive, keep in mind the tips I've just given you, and hopefully they can prove useful. That's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys later. Peace.